Puerto Rico. We are getting help from the Army, the Navy, from the volunteers, the ministers, and the celebrities. So turn off CNN. They lie.
So funny, they just turned off their camera. I love it.
Hey,
Ta-da!
there we are. We can see now. Okay, can you see me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Good to go.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. So, did I get your name right?
Ma'iingan.
Ma'iingan. Okay. Ma'iingan is going down to Puerto Rico, like we said, and she's going to tell us about that, and she's also going to give us some information that the media is not giving us about Puerto Rico, correct?
Yeah, this is stuff that we've researched and talked to with people with feet on the ground already there in Puerto Rico, and also family members of people that have been in contact with people in Puerto Rico. Hey, Kelly.
I see.
So
Go ahead.
okay, so what's going on is a lot of people are focusing on San Juan, and we're really not focusing on all of Puerto Rico. So a lot of supplies are coming into San Juan, and there's many different reasons, like the media saying it's not going out, whether it not be for gas or not be for trucks or just drivers in general. But a lot of people have come down. There's actually a lot of efforts there. There's more people there with no disaster relief experience compared to Army Corps.
Right. I've got a friend that lives down there, so I've been watching real close. And one of the problems I know with distribution is the roads. The roads are in really bad shape. So
yeah, the roads and bridges.
Right.
And see, instead of I'm not sure on everywhere in Puerto Rico, but I know that the main drop-off point for supplies is San Juan.
Yeah.
So a lot of these places, there's some places that helicopters are going to, but like the place that we're going to, Aguadilla, it's way on the west coast, and they're not getting anything. In fact, who was it, Michael, had just talked to his relatives down there, and they said they have not received food.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend on the phone. My friend called me on the phone. It was like what, the 20th when the storm hit, and just the day before yesterday, I first heard something from him, and I was getting real worried.
Is he all right?
Yeah, he says he's all right physically. They're pretty hungry and thirsty. They're not getting food, water, and they're having a really hard time finding that. He's got a son, so I'm pretty concerned about him. We're working on trying to get some money up through a GoFundMe for you guys to take in, and it's okay. We've got $120 in there so far. That's a good start, but we need a lot more than that for you. So, well, it's just
every little bit helps.
I mean, you guys are doing a lot to get this done. So,
Thank
I
you so
understand
much.
what you're doing going down there. He said that they were. Yeah, my friend said that they were starting to have almost food riots down there in that area. So, it's really what you guys are doing is pretty bold.
Puerto Rico's culture.
You guys have been bold in the past.
We've been what?
You guys have been pretty bold in the past. You guys don't shrink from the task. You guys got.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to understand, really, besides anyone's culture, Puerto Rico's culture really, it's important to have a very significant male in the family that takes care of the family. And that's obviously, those roles are everywhere, but it's really prominent there still. So you find a lot of people that they can't feed their families. What are they going to do? Right. A lot of them can't run over here to the mainland, which a lot of people have been giving up hope, especially since Trump's speech when he was going down there essentially saying you guys are all okay. And they're not. But, Trump has a couple course. Trump has an old golf course down there that ended up not going so well. So he needed to declare bankruptcy or something, but there's no bankruptcy law in Puerto Rico. So all that debt fell onto Puerto Rico.
$30 million.
Yeah.
Yes. And so we're looking for more research to see if he's lifted that or what's happened since his presidency. But it would explain a lot of the attention he's giving them.
It's almost like he has a personal vendetta.
Yeah.
And, you know, so there's a lot of conspiracy theories that go in with that we don't necessarily have the facts for yet, so we can't talk about too much. It's just kind of food for thought. But as far as what we can do to when we're going there, we're wanting to really help, like working with you, really wanting to help reunite loved ones, or at least let people bring communication to people to let them know it's okay. We've had a lot of people contact us already, so I'm gonna put my email in the comments, and anyone that has a name or anything, go ahead and send us an email. We just talked to a satellite company today for a satellite phone.
Communications Northwest.
Yep, Communications Northwest,
a
and they're
good
willing
idea.
to give us a 50% discount. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad
So
you guys
they're
got
willing
that
to give us a
because
50%.
my friend has a cell phone and he's on the internet with us all the time. Since it happened, he hadn't contacted me at all, and there's nowhere to buy a card for his cell phone to get minutes on it, and no signal if he did have it, so he has to go somewhere and find an internet connection and call by Wi-Fi calling, and that's hard to do.
And you can
know?
find a lot of that in San Juan, but the rest of the areas, they're a lot smaller. So if there's no towers nearby, it's not like there's going to be a Burger King right there to
Right.
give them internet.
Right. He had to go to, I guess,
Which is really
a place near where he worked, letting you come into their business and use their internet connection. But he couldn't do it for long because they were letting a lot of people in to do that, you know. And they're having a hard time even communicating out of Puerto Rico. Another thing with Puerto Rico, they're not afraid to work people down there, not at all. But when they were made a U.S. territory, there was an act voted on and passed that said that the only ships that could bring supplies into Puerto Rico have to be U.S. flagged ships. So they don't even have any ships.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have any ships.
You're talking about the 1920 Labor Act?
Yeah.
It's the Jones Act.
Yes.
Or the Jones Act. That's right.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was called. I had forgotten, but you know, get my age and you don't remember stuff that good. But I do remember there was, you know, reading that there was an act that had been passed that, you know, didn't allow them to go get their own supplies or their own goods. So.
Yeah, I actually just read over that act a couple nights ago. It's called the Jones Act for 1920, and it's exactly what you said. It basically states that Puerto Rico can only buy from United States shipping containers or ships. And so it's been causing a lot of economic issues over there because people will, you know, you can't get something from another country. You have to buy it from U.S. or if you want something from another country, you have to send it. The other country would have to send it to the U.S. and to Florida, and then it would be shipped from Florida to here.
Right.
So it's been causing a lot of economic problems over there, and I think that also counts for oil and gas.
Now, couldn't Trump waive that act temporarily so that supplies could pour into Puerto Rico?
Well, with all the executive orders he's already signed for his benefit, you'd think so, right?
Yeah.
But an even funnier thing is, even though Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, but even though it's United States citizens that are there, it still gets treated as a third world country, simply because of that Jones Act. Really, they're working on a march and a strike in New York.
Well,
on behalf of the Jones.
There is a movement there to become a United States actual state. So, and
they deserve to be.
They do.
Like, how dare we hold them like slaves? You know.
Exactly, and they're very educated people there. They're not stupid people. They're very educated. You know, and Nameless, this guy that's a friend of mine, he's one of our smartest people. And so, you know, they're not uneducated people at all.
And we've seen a lot of video that if you look on my profile, I did right before this, there's another video, and it's from someone else, but it actually shows footage on the ground, and it's a direct testimony from someone on the ground, Robert Becker. And he's talking about how the citizens there and all these people that don't have any experience, but citizens just coming to help, have actually made it to where they can get running water because there's some streams and stuff, but they just don't have any way to filter it. But they've been able to get systems where it directs water from the creek all the way to a spigot in the middle of the community. They're starting to build a little bit of houses. Those that are staying. The problem, again, we're hearing in a lot of the West Coast and a lot of other places that is not San Juan, is that they aren't getting enough food. So we're hoping to bring MREs, dehydrated food. We're going to be going to the farms. We actually went to a food bank today, and we were able to get a lot of seeds. So we got like squash and pumpkins. Melons. Yeah, so that way we can hopefully start to help with gardening there. You also have the help with some water is still good for just water purification tablets. So not all water is severely damaged to the point with like heavy metals and stuff. You can find that more in the standing water in the cities. But as far as actually in the little villages, a lot of that wasn't tainted. So it just has all the basic stuff that you can still filter out.
Yeah, and if they drink that water, if they drink that contaminated water like that, then they're going to get cholera or serious form of diarrhea or something that actually will kill them.
Zika is really known around there. That's another virus. Actually, that's a man-made virus. But it's a virus that you see a lot in standing water in tropical places. And this is still an area where we're coming up to the wet season. So there's going to be a lot of mosquitoes. You know, just because they went through a hurricane and everything's kind of totaled, it doesn't mean that the life still there isn't flourishing, especially with all that standing water. That's one thing to really worry about, especially coming down. They want people to be vaccinated, of course, with hepatitis A and B, but also with to bring malaria medicine, simply because of all that standing water.
And you have a lot of people being educated. A lot of the people are going to resist the vaccines. So,
right,
you know,
right, and you don't actually have to. We don't have to get the vaccines in order to go down there. So don't let that stop you from going down there. We personally would rather just go and offer our tobacco every day, and we know that will be good.
Yeah.
If you go in a good way, if you're meant to be there, you know, and you just be careful, you keep in mind that these diseases are there, and you do your best to prevent that. You don't need to inoculate yourself with their virus itself.
Well, you guys be careful when you're down there. Good. Be very careful when you're down there, both of you. You know, you guys do a lot of good things, and we don't want to lose that. So, let me ask you a question. They say that the death toll is 16 there.
Yeah, the certified death toll rose to 32. Hundreds of people are dying a day. Now, the reason they're not certifying it is because they're saying it's not hurricane related. So they're waiting to do autopsies and things to say it's hurricane related, even though they died around the time the hurricane came through. So a lot of it is, again, just another way to silence the truth. We're seeing that a lot in the mainstream media, especially with the mass shootings that went on in Vegas. Yeah. It was 3 hotels, not just one.
Right.
So we know to censor stuff. So that's why we're really excited to be able to go there and bring some truth. We were able to partner with Jose that's working on the marches and everything in New York. There's a radio station and a news station that is going to help us push information, things we get from there, and help us get it onto the media there. And then we have awesome people like you guys too, to help us get it out as much as we can, because we really want to show exactly what's going on that people are not being able to see. It's so confusing and so frustrating when you're trying to help and you can't get any truthful information.
Right, it is hard, and you know that's why we work with you guys, because you know, whether you're anonymous or not really doesn't matter. You have the idea in your heart. You know, you guys want to do good. You want to help. You're against all of this tyranny, for lack of a better word. You want the truth out there. You understand. You guys get it, you know, and you work your butts off to help. You got thrown in jail to help, and you know, and I admire that in both of you. You guys, you really have my admiration, my respect. One thing I want to mention is I do have 2 fundraisers going. One is for my friend Ray Sierra to try and help him out, and he's helped a lot of people in his time, and so we need to rise to the occasion and help him out. And the other is to bring in some money for you guys to take with you, or to do whatever you need to do with it to help more people. And both of those,
we appreciate that.
Well, thank you. Both of those fundraisers can be found on the TruthSec page or on my wall. So, and that's Michael Crow. You can either look on my wall or look on the TruthSec page and find those fundraisers. One of them is through GoFundMe, and the other one is just I set up for my friend. I just set up a PayPal account because I can just transfer that to his PayPal. And
okay.
So,
and we also have a PayPal too.
Okay,
but
go ahead and
it definitely, the whole point of uniting is to be able to unite all together and have it from many angles. So we really appreciate it. Yes. You can say a lot of the things that I can't, and that's okay.
If you'd like for me to put that PayPal, if you'd like for me to put the PayPal information out on the TruthSec page for you, I will.
Oh, that would be great. Either way, I saw a comment from Tawasi on here, and he asked, "What can we do stateside?" I just wanted to address that real quick, if I could, because it's a really important question. A lot of things that we can do, we're hoping to put like a port up, at least to get a shipping address there. So that way things on the West Coast can actually get just sent straight to the West Coast. UPS does free shipping and supplies. So you can send it to San Juan, it's just not going to get there. So maybe, Tawasi, things that you could do here on the mainland is still be collecting supplies that you can send over, and keep continually sending it, you know, any little bits that you can find. You guys can go to food banks like we are. Anything we're doing, you guys can do. We're not a special nonprofit or anything. And it's amazing how many people will help you if you go with little mom and pop businesses instead of like big corporate hotels, you know?
Yeah.
So, and just staying on that, if we can try to get more addresses for different ports, we will. But right now, it's extremely important to be getting supplies over there to the other parts of the island. Also, water filtration.
Water filtration and just sharing information in general goes a long way.
Sharing it, but not just sharing it, like sharing it and not putting a caption. People want to know why you shared that video, and a lot of times people really will get a better understanding if you actually write a little bit about what that made you think of. So yeah, thank you. Rick, we'll be okay. We got prayers on our side and awesome friends.
Yeah, you got a lot of people praying for you, and you know, all those supplies and everything are nice, but good old-fashioned money helps too. And you know, money talks loud, and so we want you guys to go down there with as many tools as you can have, and that would include money is probably one of the most important tools you could have. So I know a lot of people don't like to give money; they prefer to give other things because they think it might be squandered or whatever. I can assure everybody these guys are not going to squander money. They're going to go over there and they're going to do the best they can with it, and they'll really make a buck go a long way. And that's something that you actually can do in Puerto Rico. So, you know, it's not like the United States. Yeah. People really need the money, and the people who have things that you need will let go of it for the money. So it can really help you guys out. So I urge everybody to just, right now, you know, even if it's just $1 or $2 that you can spare, that's fine. Mm-hmm. If enough people do that, it can really give these guys some powerful tools. And that's what we want to do.
We also just posted the link to our PayPal just in case people don't like to go through GoFundMe. Tawasi asked if more people are needed to join us. We have right now 6 people or 5 people for sure. They're confirmed coming. Right now, only 2 of them have our tickets. So we still need about $500 to completely, that will get tickets and as much baggage as we could possibly need, a lot of supplies to get there for the month. $500 is like bare minimum, and that's going there without any money, which we're willing to do if we can make just 500. And you said you had 120. So
far, yeah.
That's a great start.
I'm not giving up.
So
I'm not ready to give up yet.
20,
I'm not ready to give up on. I said I'm not ready to give up yet, though. That's not enough. So come on, here, Nons. Let's go. Let's fork over a buck or 2, anyways. Come on, we can do that.
And so, if anyone's still willing to join us, we're going to be leaving tentatively on the 18th. So, anyone that has any special skills or is really feeling the calling, there is never too many. So, please feel free to come.
Yeah, like people with medical professions, EMTs, they're in need of also, arborists to clear debris off roads with chainsaws.
Or if you've been to any camps, with this recent movement, you've learned a lot about generators or like how to do solar panels, how to build like little huts, or, if you're just mechanically inclined, if you just know from what you have learned and you have a special skill. HJ here, he's one of the people that's coming with us. We met him at a camp in Texas. He has $140 towards his ticket. So he needs, he has his ticket total. He just needs $40 more for the baggage. And then so with Spirit Airlines, we get 1 bag for $50 and then the other bag is free.
Okay, great. So if anybody out there would like to join the team, if you don't know how to get through to them, just get a hold of me and I'll put you in touch with them. We really need to make this a success. America has not done its job toward Puerto Rico. So we just haven't done it. And it's not going to get done unless we do it like this. Our government has pretty much failed us. We all know that. So, but we don't need the government. We're better off without them. So some of us are anarchists, and people will ask us, what if we become an anarchist society, who's going to build the roads and the schools and the hospitals? And the answer to that is the same people that do now, but they'll do it cheaper and better because the government's not in the way. So, our government's not very good. Our government's not very good at this kind of thing, and people are. So this is how to get it done. So I want to applaud you guys. Yep. Is there any more you wanted to say before we wrap it up?
I think that's it.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Oh, we're also looking for a chainsaw.
Anytime. Okay.
If anyone in the Washington or Colorado area, that's where we're going to be traveling through to get there. So if anyone has a chainsaw that they don't need, that would be great.
Great.
Now I'm done.
I want to thank you guys for what you're doing, and I want to thank you for coming on. Anytime that we can help out, let us know. We're glad to do it.
Thank you so much.
That's how we get things done. That's how we get things done is uniting. I preach unity all the time amongst Anonymous, but it doesn't mean just Anonymous. We really need to unite all humanity if we could. How potent would that be if all of us joined together? No government has ever been able to stand when the people united against it. It'll fall without a shot being fired if enough people rise up against it. So the people have the power, and what we have to
especially with our voices. That's
right. And one situation would be Syria. They've been wanting to go into Syria. But they couldn't get the support. Highest support got was 9%. So they couldn't do it. They weren't able to go in there guns blazing and take everything over. People do have power more than they believe. We just have to exercise it.
Absolutely.
Use your voices, use your actions, whatever you can do. You see a problem that needs fixing, if you can, then fix it. You know, we got to be the change we want to see. And that's how we change the world. Don't wait for the government to say, okay, you guys can go ahead and do what you want now, because they're not going to do that. They're never going to do that.
Yeah.
No.
And we're free people. We were born free. We're going to live free. I sound like a movie, I know. But, you know, we have the right to do this on our own. We don't need their permission, and we don't need their guidance. We can do it better than they could anyways. So,
Yeah.
What we're trying to show people here.
So everybody, let's work together and let's get these guys on a successful mission here.
Yeah.
Yep, let's do that. So put whatever money you can into these fundraising efforts. Let's get these guys on a successful trip. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Later.